I'm Angela Stevens from Asia Business News with the Australian Market Report of March 17. The rally on Wall Street came to an end yesterday, with the market ending slightly lower over refreshed worries of the health of financial firms. Yet despite these falls on Wall Street Monday, the Australian market closed marginally higher as financial stocks surged. The benchmark S&P/ASX 200 index gained 0.1% or 3.2 points at 3348.4, while the broader All Ordinaries index was up 0.1%, that's 2.6 points, at 3297.3. And good news for Australian shares, which may receive support from the stronger copper and oil prices. Looking at the key economic facts and figures, the Australian Bureau of Statistics has released figures on lending finance for January. The results showed that the value of personal finance issued in January rose 1.4% after seasonal adjustment from December, climbing to almost $6.5 billion Australian dollars. Commercial finance rose 6.5% in January in seasonally adjusted terms from December to just over $31 billion Australian dollars. The only fall was in lease finance, dropping 17% in seasonally adjusted terms in January to $443 million Australian dollars. And it's expected the Reserve Bank of Australia will release the minutes of their March board meeting later today. Turning to the latest news in mergers and acquisitions, it's speculated the Canadian media group CanWest Global Communications is seeking $390 million Australian dollars fundraising with the expected sale of its 56.6% holding in 10 Network from 5 to now 6 investors. CanWest declined to comment and said the company remained focused on operating its businesses. Infrastructure group Asciano plans to raise over $1 billion Australian dollars to pay down its debt. The company said it is considering buyout offers for all of its assets after a plan to sell a half stake in its coal haulage division failed to attract sufficient interest. Now for important corporate news, investment bank Macquarie Group has created a new lending unit which will be headed by Ben Brazil to use part of the $13 billion Australian dollars raised in the past 3 months from the sovereign guarantee. Oz Minerals Limited said it's in talks with its lenders for further bridging finance to cover any cash requirements that may arise during the bid period for the $2.6 billion Australian dollar takeover offer from China Minmetals. Virgin Blue has seen a rise in both domestic and international passenger numbers for January 2009, with the domestic figures increasing by 7.4% over the previous year and international passenger numbers increasing by 33.4%. Premier Investments has reported a huge gain in their first half net profit, up to $49.18 million Australian dollars. Now that's an increase from just over $21 million Australian dollars from the previous corresponding period. The company has maintained its guidance for the full year. And finally, AXA Australia Pacific said it will raise $500 million Australian dollars through an institutional placement at $2.85 Australian dollars per share. Well, that's the news report from the Asia Business News Centre for March 17th, 2009. I'm Angela Stevens.